Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Yeah, you too. Is Luis?
Yeah, this is Lewis. Yeah.
Yeah, Luis. Let's see here. Yeah, Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year. It's good to nice to have a little time off.
Yeah, not so little, 2 weeks. Wow. Uh,
Yeah.
So did you add some stuff here, Luis,
I did.
for the? Yeah, okay.
I did. Yeah. Let me go ahead and share the. So I got. I'll put up the antitrust slide as normally, and
hmm
then yeah, I added some content here. I got the agenda up on the screen. We could talk about the developer February developer and testing event. The
Yeah.
topics submission is due on the 15th, so I don't know if we maybe put some thought around that.
Yeah, I saw. I looked at that, and it seems like it's just a couple of lines of stuff you put in there. You don't
Yep.
provide a draft or anything. It's more. I saw some topics from different people,
Exactly.
so we should be able to do that very quickly, I think, hopefully.
Sounds good. And
Good
and
morning. Happy New Year.
good. Hey, happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone. This is Jules from AMI.
Hey, Josie.
Good
Hey.
morning,
Hey there.
everyone. Wishing you all a happy new year. With Muthu from AMI.
Same to you guys. Uh,
I have the meeting recording on. Let's say if anybody has concerns, let me know. Otherwise, we'll leave it on.
yeah, no,
Antitrust.
that's helpful.
Yep. Antitrust policy is up on the screen for your reading pleasure. Same as last time, and nobody's in trouble, so that's always a good thing. And that's
Yeah.
my bad joke. And that's my bad joke every week too.
Hi, John. See if we get some more. Susan is going to miss today. There was something else going on there. I was hoping we would get Baras. Let me ping him here. Okay, I guess give it one or two more minutes, and then we go. I don't think we have anything on the agenda we need to vote for today, so that's a good thing. Unless somebody brings something up, of course. And is this order good that you have now that you're sharing here, Luis? Do you guys?
Sure.
Okay.
Good with me. If you have a, yeah.
Yeah, I had a small couple of things we can start with. So if you're anyhow sharing, could you? So we start with the GitHub issues. So if you click on that one, just to show people, yeah, it's more of a, it's a minor change just to add some groups, and it sort of helps us when we wanna, because once we go into RC period where we have release candidates, you log issues. We wanna have some way of sorting the issues. So first out, is it a bug? Is it a feature? perhaps it's some sort of a, question or whatever. And then, so that's the type of issue. But then priority-wise as well, because under the RC period, we don't want to address every single issue. We just want to hit the big ones. So priority is another one we proposed. And then status. If you go down to status, you see there is some stuff there, and that one is less of a concern, but it's handy to have. You get a new issue and somebody grabs it. And we don't need to do that one, but it's just a proposal. But the priority is really important, I think, that we have a way of saying that this is sort of a showstopper, or it's something that would be more nice to have fixed.
Absolutely.
So we want to make those changes because, and this ties into the status of the release as well. We basically hit the integration period now, and we are working on, together with different contributions, there is collaboration going on in the community now to get the unmanaged rack plugin merged into the development branch. And we wanted to make sure that once we have those release candidates, people can log issues. So this one, I guess, this is something we should vote on, actually. Do we have quorum today? Bob, do you know? We have Intel here, we have HPE here, we have Tier 2, we have AMI. Yeah, we do, right?
I think we do.
Did people have a chance to read through this? Are there any questions? Are you ready to? Is that something we could vote on, or do you guys feel it's? Because today it's just the issues are as is in GitHub, so you can just log an issue. There is nothing in there to pick from, as far as priority or issue types or anything. And Luis, if you have any input here as well, of course.
No, I think it's good. My only question, aside from a vote, is do we want to link back to this? I see that there's a GitHub link up top to ODIM and then labels, but maybe we want to add this to a README or something so that we got some, we can circle back to this in GitHub, because it looks like this is really good. I just want to see how we can sort of close the loop and circle back to it.
Yeah, I think this will open up the ability when we have created those labels to use them, and then we need to also sort of outline some kind of a process around this, I guess. Once you grab an issue, should it be new still, or do we need to change it to something else? These type of things, but that could come later, I guess. Right now we have some labels here, which is
Yep.
But if you go into issues, can you? You have labels there. Well, if you go into issues and you create a new one, you don't have to create it, but you can pretend that you do.
Yeah.
Where do you do that? New issue, to the right.
Yeah, new issue. Yeah, I'm not going to click it. Oh, but and then when you do a new issue,
it won't.
and then you can
cancel it.
assign a label. You can assign a label to it. Where is it? Yeah, somewhere in here. Oh, there it is. A label right here. Yep.
So we will have groups there instead then, right? So.
Yep.
Some projects are using this method. So.
So it looks like type is already in there. The type that you were proposing there's enhancement, there's bug, documentation. So I don't know if that covers what you were thinking in terms of the type.
Yeah, let me.
But certainly the priority isn't there and the status isn't there.
Yeah. So the types we're proposing is this was written up by Bharat, and I was hoping he would drive this today, but he's not joining. So is like bug, feature, tech depth, and question. I guess we need to clean up the types there. That they're already existing, right? Because
there may not be enough options, enough selections.
Yeah, I think we need to clean it up, and then we need to write up a little process, which we can have as guidelines, basically. When you file a bug, keep this in mind or whatever, and then if you grab an issue and it has a certain it's perhaps it has a status that you might want to change. I don't know why we have all these labels in here. I perhaps the development team just added them as they went ahead.
Either that or they're standard in GitHub. But like, for example, just, you can do a new label and call it like a P0 or a high, whatever. So this would be priority. Oops, I can spell. Priority high.
But what about groups? There are some groups here as well. That's what they're using, right? So.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, there is a nice write-up somewhere. Let's see here. Here, let me look at this that I saw, and that's what drove this. You could define different groups of labels: issue type group, issue priority group, issue status. So that's the thing that we haven't done, I guess. I don't know how you create a group. I don't know that we need to vote on this one. I guess we have a lot of labels in there, so we can do a cleanup, and then we can, look at it next week and then make further changes to it. Every little thing we are working on, we don't need to vote on, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah, I sort of agree. I'm not certain a vote is necessary, but I do think, maybe assigning a lead to clean up the groups and then, a couple of people to sort of help advise on it type of thing, I think will be okay.
Yeah, I can take the action. I would love to drive it with the current engineering community, though, like on the Intel side and AMI side, and then with Barath. So we just have agreements. Because now I think what has happened is we find something in the unmanaged rack plugin, and there is an email going out, and it's fixed, and it's a little, it's less structured. So I think we just need something there. Okay, very good. Oh, perfect.
I think the title is showing TCS. I think it should be TSC, right? I'm sorry.
Yep. Sorry, that's my bad, I think. I don't want to change that when Luis is writing here, though. I don't know if that's going to change the page.
Oh, yeah, hold on. I'll get out of the page real quick.
No, you don't need to. I mean, can you rename the page?
I could stay on. Yeah, there you go.
TSC, it should be. Okay. What the heck happened there? Oh, reload. Oh, you didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Is it fixed?
Oh. Yeah. Oh, I didn't fix it yet. I didn't even realize there was a typo up there. I'll get
it. Thank you. That's my bad.
No worries. Oh, good.
Okay, so I'll work with across the companies to clean that up. And status of release, I just want to say there that we are now trying to get the unmanaged rack plugin into the development branch, and this is typically what's gonna go on when we have this integration period. But there might be even more in the future, because we might have separate sub projects, and then we just need to make sure everything works together. So for now, I think in the process we outlined 2 weeks for this exercise, and we all agree that the process is good for release 1, and then we might need to revise it. So if we get a lot of sub projects, we might need to extend the integration period a little longer. But for now, I think once we have the unmanaged rack plugin integrated, there is no reason to sit around and wait for the integration period time to expire. It's better to just cut an RC0, I think. And then, we continue with the RC work all the way till till the end of January when we release. And when we do hit the RC, we will create the release branch, and the release branch will be 2101, and then we will label it RC0, and then as we get fixes and bugs, we will fix them in the release branch, and we will port all the fixes back to the development. And then if there is a need for another RC, we will label that RC1. And then eventually, I think we will then do the release. And that's what I wanted some input and thoughts. When we do the release, is it enough to just stick a label in the, because we have the main branch, right? It's called master right now. We need to talk about that as well. But so once we have a release to go, we will basically merge the release branch over to the master branch, and then label it 2101, and that's the release. Is it enough, or should we also actually do a file, like a tar file or something? Or what are your thoughts there? Because this way, if anybody hit the project and they clone, they will get release 1, right? When we set that as being the default branch. But in some projects also have release bits, like a tar file or something like that.
I don't have an opinion on that. Out of my domain.
I think it's enough if you are. I mean, the problem with not having a tar file is obviously that, okay, you clone, then you have to go through the build process. But because the build process is either going to be all in Docker for the first release, perhaps, or if you have time in Kubernetes, it's going to be containerized, and so you can build it, and you can just follow the instructions. Normally, why you want to release perhaps a tar file with binaries, configuration files, libraries, and all this, is that would take off, that will remove the work of building something, which could be quite involved, where you need to have a lot of development packages, include header files and these type of stuff on your system in order to build it. But because this is containerized, and you can just kick off the build directly from the repo, right? It might be acceptable. I don't know. It's extra work for us if we have to build it, for sure. Extra work for the community if we have to build it and get a tar file ready. Well, if no opinions, I guess we go with the simplest stuff. We just basically put it in the main branch. And Louise, I read that, and this has been raised by several individuals and companies. I read that Git is moving away from having a master branch. It's now going to be called the main branch instead. Is that something we should do? Because
Yeah, no, I don't know. First time I'm hearing that. Let me do a little research within LFN.
Yeah. It's like it's this whole thing about referring master slave and all that is kind of becoming a bit dated, and people want to move away from that. So I don't have a problem with renaming the master branch to the main branch and then setting that as default. But I think it's a decision we should.
So yeah, I agree. I think I would like to take the opportunity to move away from non-inclusive terms, and I'm actually part of the LFN TAC, who has a committee working on this, and so we're actively looking to go look back and eradicate this kind of language. So at the outset,
Okay,
as we begin to develop this, we can save some time by just going to something like main or whatever, just some other word. Would really appreciate it.
Yeah, so it's easy enough to do, but it's good to get input if let's say LFN feels that, okay, we should call it main. Then we just create the main branch, right? And we set that as default, and we can delete the master branch. But there might be another name for it, so perhaps we don't want to do it twice, right?
Yeah. Bob, is there some new wording that's being converged on, or is it like it's going to be up to like the community to change the name?
I think it's going
to
to.
universal.
I think
Yeah.
we're leaning towards the latter because I don't think every project is going to want to agree on one particular replacement term.
I see.
So based on, I mean, it's still an ongoing process, right? There's no final decision, but based on the trend that I'm seeing, I feel like the easiest solution is going to be, here's a palette of suggested replacement terms, and projects can make their own decision.
Well, it's going to be also up to Git, I guess. GitHub, right? GitHub will basically, when you get a new project today, or actually a couple of months ago, you got a master branch. Boom, that's it. So they are gonna, if they're gonna replace it on that level, you're gonna get something else.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that, so not sure.
Well, I read an article. I don't know if they have acted on it, but that was brought up. So it's not a biggie. I think it's just an opportunity for us to move in a direction where the industry is going anyhow. So we should jump on that, right? So I'll leave it for now, Bob. And if you get anything more from the TAC recommendation on the names, we can act on it next week, because we are not cutting even the release branch yet. But
yeah, we're still trying to get to our next meeting. We've kind of missed some meetings at the end of the year, so we usually meet on Wednesdays before this call. But I think the invites weren't in place, so no one knew the meeting was happening this morning. So I'll bring it up at the next one, which hopefully will be next week or something like that. But I think it's very important that we actually really look at this and try and make a conscious decision.
Yeah, and Louis, if you hear something as well, that will be a good input. So.
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and ping some of the folks inside. Hey, Bob, is it okay if we sort of park this one with you and me?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm going to put myself here as well, because that's not, because I'm going to ping some folks as well. Cool.
Very good. Okay, so then we have the topic of the developers and testing forum, and there was some submission that the proposal that needs to be submitted, and it was kind of not too complicated, it looks like. So I think we should be able to do that within the next week. When was it due? It was due on the 15th, did you say? Or?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to jump to the page now. So we actually have a parking place for our stuff right here.
So that.
And and I think it's the 15th, somewhere in here it says the 15th, but it's a week from Friday, basically. And we have a parking area. We can drop our and again, you can just take a look back at what some of the other communities are doing, and as far as just a really short description of what we plan on speaking about.
So how long is it's a presentation basically?
It could be 30 minutes. It could be 50 minutes. I think somewhere, anything in between, I think.
Yep, we just have to leave time for the presentation portion and then questions and answers, unless it's more of a discussion.
And here's the other thing to think about. There is an ONAP track, there is an Anakit track, and so we can have our own topic to generally, but it might be a good idea to actually put a short introduction proposal to what ODIM's doing and how we think it impacts ONAP. The Anakit community is already pretty familiar with us, but we might actually want to. I don't think the ONAP community is all that familiar, and they are
what is
sit on
Anikit?
top of,
Is
yeah.
is that the new OPNFV and?
Yeah, the new CNTT
Yes.
OPNFE.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So actually, I think it would be a really good idea to propose a 30-minute intro session for why should you care about ODIM in the ONAP track. Similar to
And
what
then
we
we have-
did, yeah, similar to
Oh,
what we
oh.
did with CNTT, Q3 last year or something.
So Bob, do you think we should park it in the ONAP track under these, under these 5 here?
Yes, yeah, I think so. I think under a specific own it, because there's an audience who's looking at those sessions and deciding how to schedule those sessions. So
So, did you want something else
Yeah.
on top of that, or just this intro to ODIM in the
just
ONAP
yeah,
track?
just an introduction to ODIM and write it, and it's abstract. It makes it clear enough as to why why ONAP as an orchestration layer would care, right? So that people will show up to it.
Hmm. So we might get some more audience there than if we just do it standalone. But do you want something standalone as well, or?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
ODIM, I think
yeah.
I think ODIM should have its own sessions.
Yep, agreed.
But if we can get an intro to ONAP early enough on their schedule, and I could try and work to influence that, then that might drive people to come to our deeper dive sessions that we have and
So
get
how many
something
sessions
meaningful.
are we looking at? I mean, how much material do we need for this?
Well, it depends on how many topics. This is an opportunity for us to discuss topics like we do on the TSC, but with a potentially a broader community, right?
I think
So
there should be an introduction session, and I think there should be a release session, because we have a release by then, and I think it's good if this is how you get it, this is how you build it, and this is perhaps how you run something with it, right?
Yeah. That makes sense.
And then I guess there could be a session as well for what do we want to do moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, there could be 1 or 2 sessions in the ODIM track on certain tech proposals that we have outstanding that we want to continue to discuss, right?
Yep. Yeah. Let's see, overview, and the overview we will also run in the ODIM. In the ONAP thing then, and then we have a release session. We might rename them. I'm just taking some notes here. And you said, what did you? How did you formulate that, Bob? Like future features, or?
Yeah. I think I just called it technical proposals, but what do we have under our R&D page? We have certain proposals, right? Or
Yeah, it's under the TSC, I think.
Yeah.
TSC proposals.
Yeah. So we could have a placeholder for proposals.
Features and proposals. Okay. And that should be it. Do we do each of those 30 minutes, or are the other tracks, are they going on for the full day, or what is your thinking there?
For like five hours or so, roughly.
Okay.
So there's
Holy
plenty
shit.
of time. If there's a meaty subject, give it an hour. But it's case by case.
I think the release session could talk about the release and what is included. We can tag it. We can have a demo as well in the end, and that will easily consume an hour. But the future features and proposals might not last that long as an hour. So I don't know if we have 5 hours, do we? Or?
I think if we wanted to, we could. We could create a schedule.
We can. It really depends on
Totally
how
up
much
to us.
material.
Yeah.
Really, it is. Yeah.
But there are groups who are, starting at sometimes typically because of the worldwide audience, we're starting at like 4 or 5 a.m. In some cases, and Pacific time, and then going till maybe 10. So 9 or 10. So that's typically what I've seen for CNTT, for example, which which I was involved in all those sessions previous.
Yeah, we need to
So
develop the material for all this. That's the thing, right?
yeah, I mean, we don't have a lot of time, but we got 3 weeks or so. But
Yeah. So interesting. So we will have our own track then, and then we try to get into ONAP. The thing there, everything is going on the same day, is it, or is it 2 days?
it's actually over 2 or 3 days, so you
Uh,
can spread it out a little bit.
yeah.
What is it? Is it 2 days or 3 days? Lewis, do you
It's
know?
the fourth. It's the fourth. I'm sorry, the first through the fourth. So I guess it would be 4 days.
Okay. So we can do as little or as much as we want to discuss. It's whatever we have bandwidth to create a topic on and discuss. It's an opportunity to kind of make some sprint type progress on a number of topics, right? Yes. 2 or 3 sessions a day, and just bang out a whole bunch of stuff over 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, we should work on this offline somehow. Perhaps we form a little mini task
Subcommittee,
force.
yeah, a little subcommittee on.
Try to get Alex, Martin, and perhaps somebody from AMI, Joe's, and anybody who's interested. The problem is always finding the slot, right? But we can perhaps just try to do a lot of it over email. ODIM topics, okay. So there you have a placeholder
Yeah,
for
so-
ODIM
so
section.
Yeah, so I just sort of cross-referenced this thing I put here. So I dropped this here. Oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake here. That's sorry about that. Let me let me re-edit that. I just cross-referenced the. Sounds like someone's got some power tools going on.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
Oh, this is ODIM. So I'm basically just sorry about that. I'm just cross-referencing the ONAP session that I dropped on. Oh, what's going on here? Why is that multiple? Anyway, I'll fix it up. I'll fix it up when we're done.
So what is
yeah,
exactly?
Yeah.
So what do we need to propose here? So if you submit a proposal, because here we look at ONAP topics, like it's like a big thing, right? And then you have all those sessions under, right? So is each?
Yep.
So this is like an ONAP integration lesson learned from. That's one session, right?
Correct. Right
Yeah.
here. Yeah. Right here. So that's the first session, and it doesn't have a time. You know how long. And then the second one here, stability, resiliency, stress testing. Yeah, and then so on. You know, they keep, and then
Okay.
yeah.
So under ODIM, we would do something similar with.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But we might need to, if we. So I hear you, Bob. We have a lot of time we could use. We just need to make sure that we can develop the material for all of it. So perhaps whoever wants to grab something can propose it and then go develop material for it. Like I will do release and demo, of course.
Yeah, I mean, all you need somebody who's willing to, sort of sponsor the session, come up with some talking points to drive the discussion, and it doesn't have to be super formal. It can just be, let's talk through the different ideas and options on this. Right? It could be very formal, very laid out if someone has very concrete ideas, or it could be, here's 3 or 4 things to consider, and let's have a dialogue. It's
Yeah.
we don't have to overthink it.
Agree.
Okay. Yep.
Well, I feel we don't have an owner here, So I guess I can take ownership and see if I can get this subcommittee going. I will send out an email.
Yeah, I'm
On
glad
TSC list.
glad to work on it with you and help
Yeah,
out.
thanks, Bob. I'll send out an email on TSC and I guess we could meet at least once this week. Would be nice if we have time. Well, actually, to be honest, what we need by next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday, is the proposal, right?
Correct. Just need
Yeah,
a
we
proposal.
we have to do these write-ups, these short little write-ups and the wiki and get them on the
Well, put my and Bob's name there then, and I will sync with you, Bob. I think we need to invite whoever wants to join us, right? And then
Yeah, for some reason you're not auto-populating, but I'll fix it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bob. Yeah. Okay. Alex got away easy today. I guess is he still out? Do you know, Bob? Or?
I don't know. I thought he was going to be back right away, but I will have to ping him.
I have a few
he must be
missing
still
the
out.
action here. Well, yeah. Okay.
So
good.
before you go to the next topic, I found the Inclusion Advisory Council for GitHub, and I posted it on the chat. So they are officially changing things to main.
It's main, yeah? Is it?
They're responding, telling you that.
So it should be main. Is that what you're saying?
John, are you saying that they've indicated to you they're in the process of
changing? If you
If
look at the paragraph, the last sentence says default branch name for new GitHub repositories from master to main, and are now working with a number of other organizations to make this industry-wide change.
So then we can create a main branch instead, and we will set that as default. I think that's something we can just take an action on then, unless you guys want to feel still that we need to go and discuss it. Because I don't see LF doing something else, right?
No, I don't think they.
All right. We'll do that. Thanks for that, John. That's helpful. I will actually copy this link. Okay, fine. Good. And there are no objections for that, right? Master will go, main will be there, and that will be the default branch after the release. Before the release, the development is the default branch. I just feel that somebody cloning the repository should not be dropped into development. It's better if he's dropped into main where the latest release is. Any concerns? Good. Okay. Do we want to talk about the umbrella organization? Next steps here?
Yep, sounds good. So I added a couple of lines here. Based on the last meeting we had, I think we wanted to move off an induction into the March timeframe. And there's actually really good reasons for that. Number one, just to make sure we got all our, everything lined up. And the second reason is that the first opportunity before that is actually next week, which we obviously don't have enough time for. So my proposal is we go in front of the TAC on March 10, and we do our proposal induction review with the TAC, and then we follow it up with the next board meeting after that, which is March 24 for board review.
Board review. So what does it mean to go in front of the TAC? Just
so basically we'll have a presentation. I actually have one that I'm working on for XG Vela. I can pull it up real quick. and it's just basically and Bob can answer this much better than I can, but it's basically discussing the technical merits of the project with the Technical Advisory Council, TAC, and also talk about how we're going to interact and collaborate with other communities within LFN and LF and elsewhere, and also our developer makeup and overall health of our community and participation levels and that kind of thing. So really, and how we fit under the LFN umbrella. Bob, I don't know if you could add any of that. Yeah, I'm sure you've been on a lot more of those than I have. But that's pretty much what we'll be doing. So it'll be like a 15-slide presentation type of thing that we'll put in front of the TAC, and we'll work together as a community. So my proposal is I'll have a draft ready by next week, and I'll put it up on Google Docs, and then the community can we can just work together to fill it out, and then we'll have plenty of runway before March 10 to get it, basically work on it. So I'll have that ready to go. We're doing the same thing for XG Velo. Went really smooth, except that we did it right through the holidays. So it was a bit, we did a lot of work over the last several weeks, right through Christmas. We literally were working on it Christmas Eve, some of us. And but so now we have much more runway on this project, so that actually would be helpful.
Very good. So does this mean then that the board review on the 24th, is that the last step, or what happens? They think about it, then they send us
Yeah, no, that's the last step. We do the TAC review on the 10th. They'll give a thumbs up, thumbs down at some point, and then the board is usually takes the TAC recommendation and just approves it or not. And then that's it. And then we're officially under the umbrella.
So I'm sorry, this is February. Is that weird?
Oh no, this is March, and the reason.
Okay.
Yeah, the reason we don't have February on here is because there's no board meeting in February that I understand. The next one after January is March 24.
Okay.
So rather than go in front of the TAC in February and then wait until March, we just might as well just go in front of the TAC in March.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't January. The 10th one. Oh my God.
No. The January, we will never make that. It's just too much.
Okay.
I don't think anyone will be happy with that.
No, I just, I didn't see what you were typing, and I was listening, and I was like, oh my God, what, 10th?
No, we don't have enough time, unfortunately. Yeah. No, we're talking about March. So
okay, yeah.
No, this is good. So that could mean that end of March we're part of LFN basically. Is there any typical when they reject it? Is there anything we should watch out for? So we need to.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to go through one next week with XG Vela, and I'll have a little bit more input after that one, because that's the first one I've ever sat on. And as the program manager, so I'll have some experience after next week.
Very good.
I hope Bob doesn't beat me up too much on that one.
I think it's I think we're in pretty good shape, because the things that they're going to want to know is you've got some some diversity in membership, you've got code, you have a build process, that kind of stuff, right? You have a goal in mind, a mission in mind, or whatever that you're working towards. And I think if you have those basic parameters set and you're a functioning project that's relevant, so we want to talk about, we're going to be needing to talk about our relevance to the community, right? Which is an easy no-brainer. So, and we've got the other boxes ticked. I think we're going to be in really good shape, but
yeah, let's just make sure we do a thorough work there. So yeah, good. Sounds great.
Yeah, we'll have a pretty good framework once I get that draft proposal presentation up on, and Outfield will start working on. It'll all come together, I think, pretty well, and it'll pretty much cover every aspect that hopefully the TAC wants to see.
Hey, I got to jump a little bit early from this call. I think
I think we're out of topics, so unless there is something else anybody wants to talk about, I think we're fine to cut it a little shorter. But obviously, if somebody has something, we should address that.
Hello everyone, this is Muthu from AMI. We raised
Hey.
some questions on the composition service proposal. Probably we need to discuss on the next week's proposal review meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you write it already on the wiki somewhere, or?
No, not yet. So
Okay.
just it's on the email, so maybe I can put it in the wiki or.
Yeah, that's good. So we'll have the meeting next week for sure. So that's perfect. And you also had some questions, I guess, for the composition task force. Did you raise some of that there, or is that something?
No, not yet. Yeah, not yet. I need to raise it there. Tomorrow we have a meeting. I thought of raising it there and meeting.
Yeah.
I really do not know how can I send an email to that forum or something like that.
I don't know either. Perhaps John knows. We have John here. John, there's this for DMTF. They have a composition service task force that it's on Thursdays that I tend to dial into, and Martin and Muthu here. Do you know if there's a way to send an email to these guys, or should you just copy whoever is direct email, or is there a?
Well, those who are DMTF members can dial in DMTF and look on this schedule. So I'm not open to sending this to this group because is everyone a DMTF member?
Yeah.
No. We are, AMI is, Intel certainly is. I don't know about Tieto every.
No,
Okay.
not that I know.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So no worries. I guess Muthu, if you ping John, you can get some information there. Otherwise, if you dial in, you can just ask it, I guess, while we're on the call as well.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
All right. Anything else for today? Okay. Sounds good. Well, thanks for attending, and speak to you next week.
Yep. Bye, everyone. Thanks much.
Yep.
Bye.
Hey guys.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you all. Bye.